Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. We have the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and today's pub day for author and poet Cleo Wade. Her new book, What the Road Said, is out today. You'll be part of my conversation with her in our entertainment spotlight. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In Mississippi news, Mississippi gives 1 million COVID-19 vaccine shots, says the governor on Monday. Governor Tate Reeves announced on Monday that Mississippi has administered 1 million COVID-19 shots. Reeves addressed the public on Monday to address the state's 1 millionth shot and to thank everyone who is helping to get shots in arms. He especially thanked those with the Mississippi State Department of Health, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, and the Mississippi National Guard and other partners. The state is currently operating over 20 drive-through vaccine sites. We are not yet out of this fight, Reeves said. In fact, we know that the next million shots are going to be harder to get than the first million. The governor urged unvaccinated Mississippians to get the vaccine so the state could continue to see case numbers drop. Dr. Thomas Dobbs also took the podium to thank all parties involved in statewide vaccination efforts, stating Mississippi should be a model for the nation. The Mississippi State Department of Health is reporting 95 new coronavirus cases and 0 deaths as of Monday. Dobbs called these phenomenal numbers, but acknowledged we still need those numbers to be lower. He credited the low numbers to the phenomenal vaccination effort, primarily in those 65 years old and up. He also praised Mississippians for continuing to wear masks in public places and avoiding large indoor gatherings. He urged people to continue following common sense practices as we move into year 2 of the pandemic. Dobbs encouraged all healthcare providers to work quickly to get vaccines into patient arms and to get those vaccinations registered as soon as possible so the MSDH can report accurate information. This million-shot milestone comes a week after Reeves announced vaccination eligibility will be extended to include all Mississippians age 16 and up. Reeves lifted most COVID-19 restrictions earlier this month in response to a drop in the state's case numbers, deaths, and outbreaks. In more COVID-19 news, hugs at last. Nursing homes easing rules on visitors. An 88-year-old woman in Ohio broke down in tears as her son hugged her for the first time in a year. Nursing home residents and staff in California sang Over the Rainbow as they resumed group activities and allowed visitors back in. A 5-year-old dove into the lap of her 94-year-old great-great-aunt for a long embrace in Rhode Island. Nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and other kinds of elderly residencies battered by COVID-19 are easing restrictions and opening their doors for the first time since the start of the pandemic, leading to joyous reunions around the country after a painful year of isolation, Zoom calls, and greetings through windows. The vaccination drive, improved conditions inside nursing homes, and relaxed federal guidelines have paved the way for the reunions. There have been welcome back parties, birthday celebrations, coffee hours on the patio, and more in recent days, giving older Americans and their families a glimpse into what life may look like in a post-vaccine world. In national news, mysterious new system at border keeps migrants guessing. After hearing rumors that Central American families with younger children were being allowed into the U.S., one individual left Honduras with her husband and 2 kids on a nearly 2-month journey to the banks of the Rio Grande. They waded through the cold waters, turned themselves in to immigration authorities, and were allowed in the country to request asylum. I thought, "Thank you, my lord. We made the cut," she said, while waiting at the Brownsville bus station with her son and daughter, ages 3 and 5. They planned to travel to Oklahoma to join her father-in-law, carrying documents to present at a future immigration court hearing. Meanwhile, in a border town in Mexico, a mother from El Salvador sobbed after U.S. border authorities expelled her and her 8-year-old daughter. Their circumstances were almost the same as the other lady's family, but they suffered a completely different fate, the result of a mysterious new system under President Joe Biden's administration that governs the fate of thousands of migrants with children who have arrived at the border in recent weeks. The criteria to be allowed into the U.S. are a closely held secret. The Homeland Security Secretary has referred only to acute vulnerabilities that qualify families for release in the United States, to pursue asylum instead of immediate expulsion. And finally, in more national news, autopsy report shows Bobby Brown's son died from drugs and alcohol. Bobby Brown Jr., the son of singer Bobby Brown, died from the combined effects of alcohol, cocaine, and the opioid fentanyl, an autopsy report released on Monday said. Brown Jr. was found dead in his Los Angeles home at age 28 on November the 18th. At the time, authorities said only that they believed no foul play was involved. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Free yourself from negativity. Negativity seems to be everywhere. You can choose to create a space around you that is free from negativity, a space that protects you from the things other people do or say. Even though people may have the best intentions, at times they make you feel vulnerable and hurt. It may not even be what they said. It may be the way they said the words they chose. It might just be a day when you feel susceptible or off balance. In either case, you can avoid these negative feelings or comments by imagining yourself surrounded by a golden shell. This shell is permeable, but allows in thoughts and words that are affirming, comforting, and positive. This is your sphere of positivity. You can use this technique anytime you need to feel safe, secure, and loved. Today, find ways to care for yourself, making sure you respond in positive and supportive ways as you go about and enjoy the day.
Author and poet Cleo Wade is featured in today's Entertainment Spotlight. We're here on Conversations Daily News. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Author and poet Cleo Wade stopped by Conversations Live to talk about her brand new book, What the Rose Said, and her gift with words. Here's a bit of our conversation. What has it been like for you, Cleo, to embrace your gift with words and to share it with the world?
Oh my goodness. I feel so lucky to have gone through so many of the things I've been through in my life to get to a point where I know the value and importance of speaking up and saying what's on your mind and using what you've got. And I've always felt, I started going to poetry summer camps when I was, 7. And so I always felt that I had something to say and something to write. And I've gone through times in my life where I wasn't brave enough to write it down or say it. And, as an adult now, I just feel grateful every day that the words come and that I have the courage to share them, to be totally honest.
Has that been one of the fun things for you with your books, to see how different age groups and different generations have been able to pick up lessons from them that they can use?
I mean, I don't think I've talked about this book with a single person who hasn't been like, I actually read it 5 times as an adult, and I don't even know when I want to share it with my kids. And so, I'm so happy to see that. And, because I'd never written a kid's book before, I'd written a few other adult books. I researched a ton of books before I wrote this, and so I read somewhere between 250 and 300 kids' books researching. And I found that the best kids' books, the ones that spoke to me the most, were ones that introduced concepts we wanted our kids to live by and did it in a way that also reminded us as adults to live by them too. And so it felt like if you were the adult reading a book to a child, which is how most kids experience books early on, you all could get something out of it and have something to relate to and talk about.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. We'll be having you guys on tomorrow with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.